Hey, what's up guys, Battle Beats here once again with another video.
It's battle, baby!
In this video I'm going to be showing you one of my most recent beats, and I'm going to be showing you how the All Access Pass by Slate Digital is awesome and how it's made this beat sound even better. So let's dig into it. We'll start off with the sample that I had. I'll play you the sample dry and then I'll play you the sample with everything else added in, and I'll just go through them all. So it's just a cool guitar, and I pitched the sample down a little bit. And first of all, I added a tuner, which is just a stock Logic plugin to try and find the notes so I could get the bass going. Then I added the virtual tape machine, which is really nice and it just gives it a little bit of life. You just hear it standing out a little bit more, and it just gives it a little bit more of a warm feel. Secondly, I used the virtual mix rack, and I was playing around with different presets, and this is the one that just sounded really good. It was the Extreme Strip and it was the Alive, and now there isn't much going through, but just the processing, the analog emulated processing just brings the whole sample to life a little bit more. So I'll play it with and then I'll play it bypassed. So this is with. So it's just controlling the whole sample and it's just making it sound a little bit more full. And then I use the Infinity EQ. And all I did there was I cut out the lows and the highs and I boosted it in the mids just to give it even more of a warm feel. So it sounds good. And then I pitched the sample up. And it's exactly the same plugins on there. I just moved the curve for the filters on the EQ on it, and I boosted it a little bit higher, so because it is higher up in an octave, it just gives it that bit of difference as well. And the same virtual mix rack on there with saturation, processing, EQ and all that good stuff. I then used the Ana 2, which is the synth that you get from Sonic Academy in the Slate All Access bundle, and I got this sick flute sound as well. Just sounded nice. And then I added the, I don't know how to pronounce this, but the Aosis Air EQ Premium. And as you see here, I've just softened the EQ curve a little bit and it's boosting it around 500. Panned one hard right, one hard left. And I've not really dug deep into the Ana 2 synth just yet, but I will be, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how it sounds. And then I got a really nice 808, which is just a normal 808 that I use in a lot of tracks, but putting it through the virtual mix rack and the Infinity EQ brought it to life. So I'll play it completely bypassed of any effects. So it sounds okay, but the virtual mix rack really brings it out. So as you see here, I've got the Neve emulated analog EQ, and I'm boosting it at 80k, quite a lot by 9, and a little bit by 3.2. I've got a nice compressor here, and it's compressing it a lot. And then I've got the saturation here, which is giving it a lot of juice. It's really saturating it, distorting it and making it cut out on the mids as well, and it's just sounded sick. Then we got the drums. And they're sounding nice. Basically the hi-hats are just running through the one hi-hats preset which you get in the drums. Just sounded really nice. And then the EQ, I've boosted it there, and this revival plugin just gives it a nice bit of thickness, and it just brightens it up a little bit. I'll play it without. I'll play it with, then without. So it really gives it some life. Then the claps are cool. I really found that the EDM clap smacker preset made it sound sick as well. So I'll just play the clap for you. So this is without. And then this is with. Just makes it sound really crisp and really nice, and already it sounds better, it sounds wider and it sounds crispier. The kick sounds good as well. It's using the punchy rock kick setting, which we find here. And then obviously when I find a preset, it doesn't always sound exactly how I want it, so I do go in and I do tweak all the individual knobs as well. So we'll see here on the first EQ, we've got boosting it around 80 a little bit, and then it stays the same just below, just about 1, and then at 3.4k we're boosting it quite a lot as well, and then we're taking a bit of a high shelf off, and then it's getting compressed, and then it's going through another EQ where it's getting boosted around 3.9, taking some out at around 400, and then at around 54 we're boosting it quite hard. And then I'll play it without, and then I'll play it with, and then with. So as you can see, it just brings the whole thing to life. So when we play the drums together, they sound really fat. So it sounds good and I'm really happy with it. So overall, these plugins are really good because what they do is they give the sound an analog feel. And I know I'm not using any analog gear except plugins by Slate that are analog emulated, and those guys are the leaders in analog emulation. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but I'm really happy with it. It's $14.99 a month, but if there's a deal on the minute where you can get it for $9.99 for the first 6 months, and then it's $14.99 after that. That's the option I chose. I probably will choose an annual subscription when the year's up, because then hopefully I'm in a little bit of a better financial situation when I can just throw, $120, $130, $40 at it a year, and I don't have to worry about monthly payments. But at the moment, it suits me, and I think that's the great thing about it. You can get this for such a steal. Another thing I want to tell you about is the masterclasses that they hold. I learned a lot from the Just Blaze masterclass. There's a lot of things in the masterclass that I already knew, but the things that I didn't know was really interesting about how he used the plugins to emulate the sound. Now I made a beat yesterday for my good friend Wyatt for his new upcoming EP that we've got coming, and he had a really cool reverse effect and tape effect thing using one of the kilohertz plugin which comes in this, and I tell you what, it just sounded sick, and there was just all these little cool tips and tricks that I learned from it. And I am also doing the ear training masterclass as well, getting my ears in tune better to different frequencies, which is a good challenge. And I'm also listening to the how to mix hip hop vocals as well. Can't remember the guy who does it, but it's some guy from Louisiana, and it's really good. So guys, overall, this is definitely worth it, and I want to say shout out to Cymatics for putting me on this when I listened to the Stephen Slate podcast. So yeah, great stuff. I've wanted these plugins for ages, but I just thought I'm going to get them now. It's locked down, why not? And the beat came out really good. It's a beat apart from straight out of Quarantine Bundle, so if you're interested in getting it, there'll be a link in the description. But I'm going to end the video there. Make sure you subscribe, check out the other videos, and I'll let you enjoy the beat whilst the video ends.